Emma Heron, and
Manny Panganiban.
Philam Radio.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio World Community Update on education companies offering free subscriptions due to school closings. You can access a list of over 1,000 free education resources at www.amazingeducationalresources.com and also join the Amazing Educational Resources Facebook group.
Sergio LaCour's Love Lines is on Rainier Avenue Radio World. Thursday nights at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Music and dedications for the grown and sexy.
Your creative work might look a little different this year, but For Culture grants can still help you put your ideas in motion and share them with King County. Check this out. For Culture is now offering grants in 3 disciplines: art, heritage, and historic preservation. Apply by April 28th. For more information, go to forculture.org. What's that date again? The deadline to apply for a For Culture grant is April 28th. Are you interested in getting your project financially supported? For Culture wants to support your cultural activities and share them with King County. Do you do creative work in the arts? For Culture is now offering grants in 3 disciplines: arts, heritage, and historic preservation. Apply by April 28th. I have some ideas. For more information, go to forculture.org. As a cultural funding agency for King County, For Culture wants to support your creative work. For more information, go to forculture.org.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
On the front line and I was essential. You had your suspect in custody, but you still came to disturb me and my family and my life, and you took it because you felt that you could. I guess you felt like I was just a black woman and you would win the case and it came into question. For some strange reason, you demons feel like you're doing no wrong. You actually think that we're just animals and you can just kill our kings and queens and princes and princesses. You shall have your damn record. You can't believe everything you hear. You better get in touch with your spirit man. Or burn that spirit on fire. Forever. Sarah, Rihanna, Taylor.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day. Thank you for another week of R Live Jamm Session. We pray, Father God, that you guide this session and that you shine your light on this session, and that anybody that can be helped, that you make sure that we help them with what you have for them through us. In the mighty name of your Son, Christ Jesus, ask this of you. Thank you and bless you. Amen. Welcome again, y'all. Welcome again. You got to start it off right. That way it turns out right. You feel me? That's how I do it. So anyway, welcome back to R Live Jamm Session Presents. I am Thatguy Rcurtis, your host. We're here on Rainier Avenue Radio World. Thankful for another, what is this, episode 28, I believe. 28 episodes. That's awesome. So I just want to say, I don't think the word is congratulations. I think it's, okay, we're making progress. I think that we shouldn't get satisfied with what's going on. We should get motivated and know that when we do come together as a people, it's powerful. It's very powerful, and we move mountains with it. So the right way, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say the right, because there's no right or wrong. There's just decisions and choices, and you make them, and then you get benefits or detriment. But when you make the choice to utilize your intellect, you know what I'm saying, you get a whole lot more done. You get a whole lot more done. Now, there's times that you might have to push or shove or whatever, but that should be the last resort. Anyway, happy, what is it, Earth Day, Earth Month, Earth Week, 3-day Earth Day. Earth Deserves More Than a Day event, April 20th through the 22nd. During, I want to make sure that you guys see that. You see that? Johnny on the spot. Daniel on the spot. So April 20th through the 22nd, that's what's going on. Rainier Avenue Radio is getting involved and making sure that you guys are, entertained or elevated or edified. So there you go. Schedule: Tuesday, April 20th, 2021, Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. Quite a few things going on. Wake up show with, you see that? All that right there? Yeah. Screenshot it. Or you can just go to RainierAvenueRadio.world. Go ahead and download the app and you have all that information as well. So, plenty going on for Earth Day. 3-day. Earth deserves more than one day. So we have a guest that is going to be on the show a little bit later on, and he has a very unique, what do I call it? Organization. Let's call it organization. His name is Delbert Richardson, and he's the founder and curator of American History Traveling Museum, the Unspoken Truths. I'm interested to know what that is, honestly. He gave me a brief overview, but we're really excited about having him on the show. Unfortunately, there are some, technical difficulties right now. Everybody's not as technical as the next person. So we're going to give him a few minutes to get up in here. We'll probably play some music, probably play some videos. I know A.G. Ray has a new one, but all we have is her old one, so we'll probably play that. And we got quite a few songs from local artists. I also have songs on the menu as well. And if you guys want to talk about anything, maybe the past shows or anything like that, you can go ahead and you can tap in with your comments. We appreciate you showing up. That's important. If you don't show up, then we don't get to be here. So thank you. And if you want to talk about the scruff on my face, talk about it. I don't care. So anyway, man, what else is in there? What else is going on? Who is there a student athlete of the week? What? Friends, I said Jason Brown, student athlete of the week. And so congratulations to him. What school does he go to? O'Day. Okay. That's what's up. So congratulations to Jason Brown. Do you know what position he plays? Running back. Okay. So congratulations to Jason Brown, running back at O'Day High School, student athlete, Metro League's student athlete of the week. That's a pretty huge honor, I'm sure, for these kids, man. Anytime you get some recognition for what you do, that's the champion squad. O'Day, they won the championship over the weekend. Well, congratulations to O'Day. Okay. I've been out of it, man. I got so much going on. It's not an excuse. It's just a reason. And so congratulations to him. I'm sure he's going to get a nice scholarship out of that. These kids are fighting at the chance to get to the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we're just here to support them and make sure that they have what they need to get to that position, that place. Next week, I want to tell you guys, I got a very, very, very special, and I'm honored to have this lady on the show. Matter of fact, I'm going to just hold off. I'll let you guys know later. That part. So, let's do this. Let's go ahead and play. Let's play The Water, because I feel like we all need a little bit of water right now. We're probably a little bit dry. Need some hydration because of everything that's going on. I want to send my prayers and out to the young lady, the 17-year-old that was killed by the officer after we got that verdict. You see what I'm saying? It's like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. So
Everybody, drink some water, or you and I last for long. Everybody, drink some water, or you and I last for long. A little thirsty, kinda parched. Like you got dry mouth and you're wondering what to do. Dig a little deeper and understand that it's bigger than you and it's bigger than me too. But I'm telling you what I think about the sticky situation sticky that it be. But I ain't gonna trip, not one bit, not even a little bit. Cause if I trip I might slip and mess around up on my head like I did last time a long time ago. I'm gonna drink the water. And if you know what's good for you, get a glass. Everybody, drink some water, or you and I last for long. Everybody, drink some water, or you and I last for long. Diamonds and pearls, all the money in the world, it means nothing if you're not among the living saints. Diamonds and pearls, all the money in the world, it means nothing if you're not among. Y'all take a break now. Play on, come on now. Good God.
Yeah. So that's the water. That's by yours truly, Thatguy Rcurtis, and it's a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? We're thirsting for knowledge. And the best thing to do when you're thirsting for knowledge is to go ahead and grab some of the basics. You know what I'm saying? And that's what water is. When you're out here and it's too hot and you're dehydrated, guess what you go? You get you some water. Some folks might grab some Gatorade, but for most, some water. You feel me? So we are, like I said, we got Delbert Richardson that is going to be on the show in a little bit. And like I said, some folks have issues with technical, with the electronics and whatnot. But you know what? The devil's a lie. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna never stop this show, baby. So as he's trying to sit up, and stop us from doing what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? This is God's gift that he gave me, and gave me this platform. So it's always going to go the way it's supposed to go. It's always going to go positive. That's why I started off with a prayer, because I know that the adversary's out there trying to stop me from doing what I'm doing. Amen. So anyway, I know y'all be saying like, man, is he a preacher? Is he a talk show host? Is he a singer? What is he? I'm just a child of God, man, and I do what I'm supposed to do. You feel me? So without further ado, I want to bring to y'all Mr. Delbert Richardson. All right. Okay, so we still technical difficulty in. It's all good though. It's all good, man. What y'all want to talk about? Who's out there? What y'all want to talk about? This is an honor to have this platform. I know I tell you guys that every week. It's because I don't want it to go unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure you guys know that I do not take this for granted. I take advantage, but not for granted, because this is huge for me. It puts me in a position to be that blessing that I always ask to be. You know what I'm saying? I ask God every day, just let me be a blessing. Because if I'm allowing him to use me, then whatever I need is going to come automatic. So I'm not tripping. You feel me? So without further ado, please put your hands together for my brother and my uncle, Mr. Delbert Richardson.
Can you see me?
I can't see you, man. I can't see you. Try it again, dog.
Oh, man. Here we go. I think you're in the show. Everyone can see you and hear you, but I can't see me. Hold on.
Okay. Unmute your camera.
I'm trying, bro.
Oh, there you are.
I'm trying.
There he is.
Okay, here we go. Oh, my goodness, man. Okay,
my brother.
My apologies.
No worries, man. You're here. That's what's important, and I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy, brother. I know you're busy, and that enemy always be trying to knock us down, man. But we got strong legs. We just stand right up on him. You feel me? Put him under our feet like he's supposed to be. So yeah, thank you for joining us, man. I really appreciate it, man. Real excited to talk to you about your American History Traveling Museum. Like for you to kind of explain to the people exactly what that is.
Yeah, not a problem. Am I coming through okay?
You kind of breaking up.
Yeah, I know. Breaking up for me too. Hold on, let me get off my earpiece and see if that helps. Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Bro.
We in the building. Look like you traveling right now at the museum.
Connection, bro. Yeah, it's pretty garbled.
See if you mute the... I don't know. Maybe try and mute the camera and see if maybe that'll help. Or...
Yeah. You sound like George Clinton. You underwater. You can't get wet.
Aqua Boogie, baby. Aqua Boogie, baby. Never learned to swim. Wash hands. Angel Cook says wash hands. Okay. Wash your hands. Okay. All right. So, I don't know what that means, but anyway, thanks for tapping in. So can we, oh, you're muted right now, Delbert. Your microphone's muted.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go. Now your microphone's muted again, brother. We might have to, I don't know, you might have to find a spot to pull over or something. Can't pull over?
I am pulled over. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit. It's still broken up a little bit. Go ahead and keep talking, and I'll let you know. If not, we'll go to some music or something and then come back and see if we can get it right.
Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3. How that?
Yeah. Go ahead and
Not
talk.
good,
So talk to him about the American History Traveling Museum, and let's see what we can get out of that.
Well, I'll do the best I can. Yeah, I teach American history. I don't teach Black history or African American history because I operate from the belief when we call it African American history or Black history, that's a read in a box. Okay? And when we call it American history, it's all inclusive. Plus, you get a chance to see me and my nephew in the story. Okay?
Okay.
The museum's broke up into 4 sections. First one's Mother Africa. Second one's American Child Slavery. Third one is Jim Crow. And the fourth one is Still We Rise, which focus on everyday items that Black inventors have invented and patented. Right? So historically, Europeans or the dominant culture start our history from the enslaved period. That's but a blip in our history. So I start with Africa. We start off with a positive foundation of identity. The museum is a multi-sensory pedagogy or curriculum. I use authentic artifacts, storyboards, and the ancient art of storytelling. So 100% hands-on. So if you were to come to my museum, grandmother, now,
Hey, Delbert. It's really breaking up bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this. I'm going to tell you this number. Take this number down, and we'll have you call in.
all right.
425-761-2025.
7
So 425-761-2025. All right, y'all. So we're going to take a little station break. And after we come back, we'll be talking to Mr. Delbert Richardson. And we're going to get that knowledge that we so desire. Drink that water. R Live Jamm Session, Thatguy Rcurtis right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. We'll be right back at you.
Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Celebrating 4 years of broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in the interest of South Seattle and surrounding communities. Hey, it's Tony B, and yes, I'm excited to share with you that April 1st is our birthday. This one is our 4th of amplifying the diverse voices in our communities, broadcasting community events, providing award-winning instructional classes to youth and adults, supporting our music communities in all genres and forms, hosting critical conversations, and making sure that we are who you are. 2020 provided us with the opportunities to meet the needs of our communities. Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to have provided our communities with the most comprehensive coverage of how the coronavirus did and continues to impact our communities. And so, for our birthday, on behalf of our amazing staff, volunteers, and show hosts, to all of our contributors, supporters, listeners, and viewers, thank you. Thank you for your support and patience while we were trying to figure out this internet and broadcasting media thing 4 years ago. Thank you to our youth students who took our courses in interdisciplinaries like communication, journalism, multimedia, math and coding, adult digital literacy, social media analytics, beat making, film, photography, and of course, broadcast. Thank you for staying with us even when we made mistakes. You know that when we provide opportunities for you to share your voice, thoughts, issues, concerns, and talents, then we look at that as growing together. As the African proverb says, that is how we will go far. We have grown, and you've grown with us. We have over 80 shows hosted or produced by members of our communities. And all of this during a pandemic. But that is one reason why we do exist. As a true grassroots organization that started out broadcasting out of a study room in the Columbia City Library, we formed alliances with groups like the HCAACD, worked with city government, private developers, and a variety of arts organizations to promote sustainable art space, land acquisition, and ownership for arts organizations. I'm sure many were shocked when we leased 3 properties in the heart of Columbia City, providing our community members with business opportunities for a hair salon, barbershop, recording studio, rental hall, youth concert and celebration space, artist residency, and an art gallery, among the other multiple uses. We are continuing that growth as we move towards ownership of property in the Central District and in land acquisition in South Seattle's Columbia City to preserve the historical and cultural artistic integrity of our communities and ensure that independent voices continue to be heard. So for those of you who have found out about us recently, we thank you on our birthday for allowing us to broadcast our community-created content however and wherever you listen and watch. If you'd like to make a birthday donation to Rainier Avenue Radio, it would be much appreciated. Yes, times are tough, so any amount would be greatly appreciated. You will see the results. Here's how you can donate. You can go to our website at RainierAvenueRadio.world and go to the donate page. You can Venmo at Rainier Avenue Radio. You can send a check to Rainier Avenue Radio, P.O. Box 18774, Seattle, Washington, 98118. You can donate to Shunpike, which is our fiscal agent. Just indicate that your contribution is for Rainier Avenue Radio. Shunpike is the 501c3 nonprofit agency that provides independent art groups like ours in Washington State services, resources, and opportunities. Once again, happy birthday to us at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. We are your community radio station. We will continue to provide you with community-created content, broadcast live from our communities, and of course, we'll bring you high school sports like nobody else can. Join us in celebration. Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
And we're back. This is Thatguy Rcurtis. We're here on R Live Jamm Session. Presents on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Look, we have our guest, Delbert Richardson, on the phone now because, unfortunately, sometimes the internet just acts how it wants to act. But we like puffing them. Thought I told you that we won't stop. Feel me? So I'm going to bring Delbert back in, and he's going to talk about his American History Traveling Museum. So go ahead and give him another round of applause as he comes to the stage. There you go. There you go. Hey, they can't stop us, man. They can't stop us, man.
No. We good. Am I coming in clear now?
You coming in clear as a whistle, good. Baby. Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you, man. I was having a hard time getting on, and when I got on, it said, no, but we won't be denied, will we?
Come on now. Come on. Hey, you better ask somebody. Come on now.
Yeah,
so, man.
So let me just get started if I can. And first of all, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share my gift. And my gift is storytelling, right?
Okay.
Let me just, I'm not sure how much time I got, but, the museum is really my story, right?
Okay.
Because my story starts off, I was born in 1954. I was born a Negro, right?
Okay.
So they say, right? So not until I went to the University of Washington did I understand that I could choose how I wanted to identify. So in elementary school, which is Coleman School here in Seattle, Washington Middle School, or Franklin High School, we didn't have no black history. No Black History celebration, none of that. My only connection to history was that famous scene during the Civil Rights era where you saw the police dogs fighting our ancestors, right? That was it.
Right. Right.
So once I got to the University of Washington in 1973, and this is so important, Black Studies was a prerequisite for freshmen coming in. Listen to that. So in 1973, which is 5 years after the assassination of Martin Luther King, they made it clear that you were not coming out to the University of Washington, especially being Black, without being taught who you were. So based on me being exposed to the information, I became curious about why wasn't I taught this? So that's one piece. And I've been a collector of Black memorabilia, which can be categorized as the Aunt Jemima salt and pepper shakers, your cream of wheat labels, those kind of things. So I've been collecting for a number of years, like 30 years. So 16 years ago, I decided to put my artifacts on display through a lens of education. And I developed, which is now the national award-winning American History Travel Museum, the Unspoken Truths. There are those that question why I call it American history. Well, what I've learned, and I'll talk about some Delbertisms, right? These are according to me, is that when we call it Black history, there are some individuals that may think that they may not have a connection to this history. When we call it either African American or Black history, there is a dominant culture, we'll say those of European descent, that try to say, hey, guess what? That history has nothing to do with me. When we call it American history, it makes it all-inclusive. And here's the tip, man. When I call it American history, nephew, I get a chance to see me and you in the story, right? Which is so profound because we've been conditioned that American is synonymous with whiteness. That's BS, man. Our ancestors built the United States. In the cotton industry and the tobacco industry of our ancestors is what developed what we call the industrialized world. So my museum is a multi-sensory pedagogy or curriculum. I have authentic artifacts. I'm a storyteller and their storyboard. So post-COVID, I would set up, and some of you out there in Radio Land may have seen my museum annually down at the Seattle Center. And there you would come down and you could touch and feel the artifacts and so forth and so on. So my primary goal is, here's this African proverb I love to use. Until the lion tells his tale, the hunt will always glorify the hunter. So it's time for the lion, who I represent as myself, to tell our story, and I'm determined to tell the rich history of the African presence, and not just in America, but globally as well.
Sounds good, brother. So, well, you answered quite a few questions that I already had. I do want to I want to ask you, what are some of the places that the Traveling Museum has been?
Oh, well, let me say this. My primary clientele is pre-K to 12th grade public school students. And my focus is on Black males because I envision them being one of the most endangered people, along with Black girls in the United States. So my work is really around identity development and self-actualization, because the European construct always wants to start our history with what? Slavery. Right. So I don't even call my work slavery. I call it the enslavement period, because that implies there's a beginning and an end. So I've done work at Seattle Public Schools, Bellevue, Edmonds, Issaquah. I've done work at the Burke Museum. I've done work. Done work at the Law Library on the University of Washington campus. So, and I've taken my museum to Oakland as well. The last thing I want to share with you, some of you out there may have students either in school or did, and there's this acronym called STEM. That's STEM, and it means science, technology, engineering, and math. I teach that coming out of Africa. See what I'm saying? I teach
the fact that we invented math. I teach that we were navigating the stars long before the invention of the telescope. Sirius B, the dog star, cannot be seen with the naked eye, but the doggone Somali were studying that star centuries before the advent of the telescope and the invasion of the Europeans.
Well, that's some history you definitely need to have, man. So God bless you for showing that we got something on the screen right now. You educating a little young boy right there. I want to ask you something. In today's world, for a while there, the racism was they were kind of hiding behind a curtain or whatever, maybe in the closet. These days, it's back out again, quite blatant. I was going to ask you, with what you're doing, have you experienced any racism, and if so, what happened to you?
Well, let me just say this, and I would say no, but what I have received is pushback, right? And one of the things about white supremacy, they're very crafty. So what they will do, they will sometimes disguise their beliefs and values based on a frame and ask questions, right? And one of the ways they do that is try to discredit what I'm teaching. I've had people, while I'm storytelling, would say, well, guess what? That's not true. I said, okay, great. You're entitled to your opinion. So I'll ask them to pull up your phone, right?
Right.
See, I don't put anything in my museum unless it's vetted by 3 sources. The reality is that they're ignorant. So I'll give them an assignment right there on the spot and have them go to a website and ask them to pull up and read what they have discovered. And I'll say, guess what? That information you just read is not what Delbert made up. That's what my research has brought to me.
Facts, huh? Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I always reference books, man. Always. And let me just say this, nephew, and I tell this, right? We've been lied to for centuries. I say we, white people also do, because they've been intentional about making sure that they spoon feed us certain parts of the history. Because the last thing they will want us to do is what? Is to feel empowered, right? So my primary goal is not to change anybody's mind. It's to provide information in a way that makes you curious. And based on curious, maybe you start on your own journey of critical inquiry, which will lead to self-discovery.
That sounds good. And you're right about that, man. Yeah, I mean, knowledge is power, period. And if you when you thirst for it, and when you thirst for it and you get it,
So nephew,
dangerous.
Before I forget, this is what I learned at University of Washington. Let me make it real clear. I learned that as African is who I am, and the inventions is what I'm capable of accomplishing, and that's self-actualization. That means reaching my highest potential. And what I also learned is that slavery and Jim Crow had 2 things in mind: keep me from who I am and what I've accomplished. So simple.
There you have it. When you discuss the different museum pieces with people, what are the reactions? Now, let me before you answer, you're pretty much just talking to kids, correct? Or do you have adults as well?
When you say kids, let's frame it in terms of elementary, middle school, and high school. So I actually show my Ku Klux Klan robe to elementary school kids and my shackles, because I think they have a right to know the truth.
Okay.
The only challenge I have is with the adults, with the white adults, right? Because a lot of times my work brings up feelings of guilt and shame. So what I tell them, if you're having those feelings, let's talk about it, because, that's your stuff.
Right.
But if you're having feelings of guilt and shame, 9 chances out of 10 is going to manifest with some behavior. And that behavior usually leads to black and brown people being marginalized or being harmed. And that could be in the form of bias or stereotypes.
You may have answered this because you spoke a lot on what you're doing and why, But I want to ask you, what was the defining moment that inspired you to create and share the Traveling Museum?
When I left a corporate job, this is true. Corporate job, I resigned. I was the first black hired, and there was a ceiling, right? And I continued to have meetings. It was clear that they weren't going to promote me, right? So I had got this job without a degree, right? So
Okay.
when I resigned, I said I'm gonna go back to school. That's a true story. So I knew that I needed to work a part-time job because, and I was told this, because I spoke so articulate, nephew.
Mm-hmm.
They said, Delbert, we don't think you'll stick around here. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, you're smart. I said,
Wow.
wait a minute. I'm looking for a part-time job to finish my education, right? So over and over and over again, doors got shut in my face in terms of a part-time job. So I said, what can I create? What do I know? What can I do to sustain myself and build something? And in 2005, I entered on this journey of developing this traveling museum. So what I basically did is I just took the knowledge that I had. I'm an avid reader. I was considered a black nerd at Franklin High School in the early 70s, but I just tapped into that brilliance. And here's the thing: most black and brown people are brilliant. They just don't embrace it and manifest it. So that's what I did. So now I have two national awards. I just won the Mayor's 2019 award, Crosscut Award, and all that. I went back and got mine. And this is for, let me just say this. This is for everybody in the shot of my ear. Do not let time dictate your brilliance. I went back to school after graduating from Franklin 40 years and went back and got my college degree. Not because I needed it, because I wanted it. So in 2016, I walked down the aisles of Antioch University here in Seattle and got my BA in global social justice.
Congratulations, brother. That is a testimony in itself. And I'm sure
man.
Motivate somebody.
40 years. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, like you said, you like to read books, so you're a second-generation storyteller. What are some impacting stories that you've shared with others?
Well, probably the things that impact me the most that I don't share a lot is how abused we were in the enslavement period, right? And the reason why I'm sharing that is because I operate from the belief that if our young black and brown children knew the strikes and the struggles and the adversities that their ancestors endured on the bottom of slave ships and during the Jim Crow era, they would have a better appreciation for the privileges that they have. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned based on my research. So I spent a lot of time in the enslavement period research, but I love learning about African ancient history because, they still haven't figured out how our ancestors built that pyramid. You know that, don't you? Right?
Right.
They want to attribute to ancient aliens, right? No. So there's this thing called the third eye, right? I don't want to get deep, which means that our ancestors that tap into this higher level of consciousness, right?
Right.
And it hasn't been harnessed based on us being stolen from the continent of Africa. So there's this scholar called John Henry Clark. I'm going to say this and I'll stop. He said that the slave trade was this great disruption in our brilliance, right? So.
Well, that makes sense. Would you say, now this is off the cuff, but would you, I truly believe that everybody has what is called common sense, right? And they say that we only use 10% of our brain, right? So the other 90% to me seems like that's common sense because nobody really just used basic common sense. And I think that's what you did when you said, hey, let me go back at school and get this information I need in order to be successful at what I do, what I'm doing. And I think that you tapped into that 90% of your brain that just said, hey, this is what you do. You didn't have to think about it long. You know what I'm saying? You just said, hey, this is what I got to do. You see a doorknob, you twist it, go inside instead of trying to figure out why it turns.
Appreciate it, man. Much love.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of you, by the way. Let me just say that.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
That's
I appreciate it.
That's not through ego. That's through humility. Okay.
There you go. I appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did you feel when you were selected by the National Education Association as the 2017 recipient of this prestigious Carter G. Woodson Memorial Award? Obviously,
brother, so just for the listeners to know, the NEA, the National Education Association, is the union for all the schools in the United States, right? So here's a true story. Ms. Valerie Fisher says, Delbert, and she was part of the NEA. She said, Delbert, it's okay if I nominate you for an award? I said, yeah. She said, I'm going to nominate you for the NEA award. I said, what is that? See, I am a self-taught educator, so I don't know anything about the school district. So let me tell you my experience. I took my girlfriend back to Boston for the award at the time, and man, it was like the Oscars, right? There were 3,000 people. They put us up in a hotel. They took me up, and you guys can actually go online. It's put in Delbert Richardson, the letters N as in Nancy, E as in evening, and A as in apple award. You will see the actual presentation. It was a game changer, man, because that's not what I signed up for, nephew. I signed up to help Black and brown kids feel better about themselves. And as a result, I've been blessed.
There you go. That's it right there, man. And that's the amazing thing. Like you said, the humility. You're not in this for you. You're not doing this for you. However, since you are being a blessing, you are going to be blessed. You're going to have what you need. God's going to make sure that you're taken care of. So, man, that's beautiful. What are some future plans for the Traveling Museum?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. So, this is true. I love speaking the truth, man. That way I ain't got to make stuff up, right?
Right.
So, just before COVID hit, this is a true story. My wife and 8 other people had already packed their bags and were headed to 3 countries in Africa: Benin, Burkina Faso, and Togo. I had translated my museum entirely into French. Why is that? It's important that I tell our story to our African brothers and sisters, because guess what? They've been lied to also. So I've got this desire to teach my work globally, and I was already developing a virtual platform before COVID hit. And what COVID has done has been a blessing. So now I can do a presentation anywhere in the world from my office. It's a blessing.
Yes. There's a lot of people, bro, that they curse 2020. 2020 was screwed up. 2020, that's because you didn't tap into 2020. I tell everybody all the time, I think I said it on my show a few times, 2020 is perfect vision. So if that's perfect vision, then you had perfect opportunity in 2020, which is perfect vision, for you to see what you needed to do and get it done in 21. So if you failed in 2020, you did that on purpose. That's just the way I feel about it. So
I appreciate that. I'm not sure
Absolutely.
if I agree 100%, but
that's cool.
I definitely understand that we have to always look at the glass being half full, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
There are people that have always strived during that first time, right?
Right.
So if we can survive the slave ships, if we can survive Jim Crow, if we can survive racism, this pandemic ain't got a shot.
Not nothing, man. It's just time for us to sit down and contemplate and figure out the next move. Make your next move your best move. I know you know that term. So,
let me say this. I'm looking to get my own building. I have enough material for my own museum. So that's one of the next things I want to do.
Okay. So that's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, absolutely. I'm going to give myself a non-shameful plug. If anybody out there that wants to donate to my museum, go to www.unspokentruth.org, and you can donate directly to my museum there. And we take quarters, nickels, dimes, hundreds. We don't turn nothing down, right?
There you go.
It takes a village, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, hey, Delbert, man, this has been an honor, a pleasure, and yeah, like I said, man, they can't stop us, man. So, this is the opportunity right now for you to say whatever it is that you want to say to the people, and then as soon as you get done, it's duet time. We do a duet. I'll explain it to you. So, go ahead and let the people know what you want to let them know right now.
Well, I just want everyone to know that you're your ancestors' wildest dreams. Don't let anything stand in your way, because guess what? Everything you would want is already inside of you. So we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. I don't care if you're white, brown, black. You have a long lineage of ancestors that made major sacrifices for you to be here. So the question is, what's your responsibility to honor them? And one of the ways to do that is be a productive citizen of society, and if you can, help out your brother or sister in some kind of way.
There you go. Words of wisdom from Mr. Delbert Richardson, the curator and the founder of American History Traveling Museum, the Unspoken Truths. Okay, so this is going to be it's going to be probably a little difficult, man. But this is on some music. I understand you used to sing back in the day.
If you say so.
All right. We'll sing something that you know. Right?
Okay.
Doom, doo, 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 doo. And you can start. Doom, doo, 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 doom. Doo, 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 doom. Come on.
I've got sunshine.
Hey. Doo, doo, doo,
On a
doo,
cloudy day.
doo, 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 doo. My turn. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May.
Do, 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 do.
Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way. Go, Delbert. My girl, talking about my girl, my girl.
That was fun, man. When I get on screen, so I can actually show you guys some of my collection on screen.
Please do, please do. So go ahead and give them that website again, man, where they can check you out.
Sure, it's www.theunspokenTruths, that's plural.org.
All right, you guys heard that. www.theunspokenTruth.org. If you want to see more of Delbert Richardson, the American History Traveling Museum, and the Unspoken Truth. So, like I said, man, thank you for being on the show. It's been an honor, and much success to you. You will get that building, and you can plant that seed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can sow a seed into his organization, because it's definitely something that we need. The youth need it. Hell, the adults need it. Why you
Oh,
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
Grandma.
You feel me? So keep on doing what you're doing, man, because, hey, I'm with you. And if I can help in any kind of way,
right.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, I'm going to give Stanley some high marks for you, okay?
I appreciate it.
You're represented well, all right?
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. God bless. Have a great day.
All right, much love. Tell
All right,
Tony I
much
said
love.
hello.
I'll do that.
All right,
So peace. I was Delbert Richardson, you guys, the curator and the founder of American History Traveling Museum, the Unspoken Truths, and he spoke very eloquently, and he gave you some information that you can definitely use. This is Thatguy Rcurtis. This has been R Live Jamm Session presents on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Stay tuned for the sentiment. I'll see y'all next week. Deuces.